Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'll be doing my full review of the PlayStation VR2 headset. So I've been using it over the last week playing games like Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which have all felt incredible. But I wanted to show you more in terms of picture quality, how it performs with VR games, and also how it feels playing non-VR games, and even watching movies, TV shows using the cinematic mode. Plus I'll cover off any pros and cons and give you my views on whether it's really worth getting or not. Details are in the description below, including purchasing links. But before I begin, if you're new to the channel, hope you can support me by subscribing and hitting the bell icon to get notified of my next release. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below. PlayStation sells the VR headsets in two separate bundles. One is just the VR headset and the other is a VR headset with the Horizon Call of the Mountain VR game included. So in the packaging, you get a USB-C to USB-A cable, a pair of stereo headphones that you can plug directly into the headset, and this comes with two additional silicone earpieces in different sizes. There's some manuals, and you've got a card with the Horizon Call of the Mountain VR game details. There's two VR2 Sense Controllers, and finally the PSVR2 headset with a long 4.5 meter cable that has a USB Type-C connector which you'd plug directly into your PS5. Taking a closer look at the headset, it comes in the same color combination as the PlayStation 5, which looks nice and clean, weighing in at just 560 grams. There's 4 cameras on the front, and underneath you have a microphone, a power button in the middle, and a function button that lets you look around your surroundings, so you don't have to take your headset off. There's a lot of adjustability, so you can press the button on the front to slide the headset forward or back, adjust the headband by pressing the button on the back and then tighten it with the dial, and you can get the lenses into focus using the wheel at the front to move them closer or further away from your nose. Comfort wise, they're pretty good as they have enough cushioning on the headband, and this rubbery type material on the front molds around your face and acts as a light guard to keep light out. It balances quite well, so all the weight isn't on the front resting on your nose, but you do need to make sure the headband is resting further back on your head. It has two VR2 Sense Controllers which you'd hold in each hand. They come in the PS5 white and black theme and have a really good ergonomic design. The right controller has the X and circle with the menu button, and the left controller has the triangle and square with the share button. Both controllers have the analog sticks and the PS buttons, plus your R2 and L2 adaptive triggers and the L1 and R1 bumpers. You have a USB-C port underneath and an LED light that comes on when it's turned on or when they're charging. The packaging only comes with one cable to charge the controllers, so you'll need to alternate the charging or just use the one that you get with your PlayStation 5 to charge the second controller. Alternatively, you could get one of these charging stations which allows you to charge both the VR Sense controllers at the same time, but obviously this comes at an extra cost. Setup of the PSVR2 is pretty straightforward. Plug the USB-C cable from your headset into the PlayStation 5 and go through the menu options and prompts, and once done it's all set up to use. You also need to map out your room for any obstacles, and you can adjust the space to increase or decrease the space around your furniture using the VR2 Sense controllers. The two lenses inside have a 2K OLED display that supports HDR. Playing Horizon Call of the Mountain, the picture quality looks sharp and vibrant. The scenes are clear, bright, and colors look really vivid. There isn't any blooming and colors aren't washed out, and the light guard does a really good job keeping light out with the rubbery material molding around your face. And it's worth mentioning you won't get the level of clarity like you would on a 4K OLED 2D display. I'd say it's ever so slightly pixelated, or you could say slightly grainy, but not to the extent to make it a deal breaker. The field of view is 110 degrees, and I was blown away in Gran Turismo 7 where you could see the whole cockpit view, which makes playing the game really immersive. Now when I first got these, I did have to fiddle around a bit, moving it up and down to get them just right in terms of clarity levels, and I found I did need to wear glasses with them, which isn't a problem as there's enough room and they don't press down hard. One thing I would have liked if they included a microfiber cloth to clean the lenses, as they do easily get smudges which will impact picture quality. You get up to 120 Hz frame rate, and I didn't experience any screen tearing or stuttering when moving around fast scenes. Plus gaming is really clear and smooth during fast scenes in Gran Turismo 7 for example. One thing to note is that you may experience motion sickness if you've never played any VR games before. I didn't experience any while playing sim racing, but I did experience some with the other adventure games. There's a number of VR games with the launch of the PSVR2, but these aren't as extensive as the first gen list of games, and unfortunately they aren't compatible with the new VR2. The titles I have are Horizon Call of the Mountain, which is the launch title with the PSVR2, Moss Book 2, Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, and Gran Turismo 7 with the new 1.29 VR update. Horizon Call of the Mountain is just amazing. The first person experience is just so immersive, making you feel like you're right there, walking around, climbing up a mountain, or even shooting arrows. The visuals from the game are just incredible. When your hands are on the Sense controllers, it can map your fingers so it knows when you're making a gesture or when the fingers are over the triggers or buttons. And even when you're bending down, the screen moves, giving a fully immersive experience like you're there. Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge has a lot darker scenes, but it feels just as immersive when you're drilling to open up doors or picking up things or looking into your pack. The gameplay lets you feel like you're right there. Plus the VR2 Sense Controllers feel just like the DualSense controllers but in two hands, which doesn't feel unnatural, and all the buttons and triggers are really easy to get to, so you don't feel like you need to turn off the headset and look at your hands to see the buttons. The only downside to them is that it can only hold about 3 or 4 hours of charge, but you can charge them via a cable and use them at the same time. But playing more than 4 hours in a VR game may be a bit too much after a while, so it's good to take regular breaks. Now over to Gran Turismo 7, and with the VR update, things have gone to the next level, as you can walk around the showroom, looking around the cars and even inside, and racing on my sim cockpit using a racing wheel with the PSVR2 just feels so immersive, with a full view of the cockpit, giving the ability to look from side to side, and you can even use the mirrors like you would in a real car. But just to note, the Sense controllers don't work with this, so you can turn them off and either use a controller or a racing wheel. The headset comes with a 3.5mm headphone jack, where you can plug in the earbuds that come with the VR2. These are really quite good, and it's handy that it clips into the back of the headset, plus you can keep them secure by inserting them into the mounts at the sides to keep it all looking tidy. You can also use it with other headphones, so I've tried it with my LogitechG Pro X headphones, and comfort-wise, it doesn't feel too bad. You do need to make some adjustments on the headphones for it to fit over the PSVR2, but overall, it didn't feel too bad. Now on to settings, and pressing the PlayStation icon on the controller takes you into the quick settings menu, where you can adjust the screen brightness, size, and turn on and off the vibrations. Plus you can set the play area and adjust the visibility, or even enable eye tracking. You can go into the main menu by clicking settings, accessories, PSVR2, which gives you the whole list of options. I didn't really need to change anything except the tracking support to turn it off so the whole screen is displayed on the screen. You can do this by going into settings, accessories, PSVR2, other, and then turn off tracking support. There's a cinematic mode for non-VR content like games and movies that aren't optimized for VR. This creates a virtual cinema screen by default, which allows you to view content on a static screen. So for example, games like Astro's Playroom and Spider-Man worked really well, and it felt like you're playing on a monitor, as the PS5 is treating the VR2 as an external monitor or TV, you could say. The quality isn't as sharp as when you're playing your VR games, but it's still not bad. The screen is quite clear and the game is quite smooth, but obviously it will lack the immersion the VR games give. I also streamed YouTube and TV shows from Netflix, and I was really impressed with the quality. It felt like you're sitting in front of a massive cinema screen. And what's really cool is you don't have to have a TV connected up, as it can be used standalone with a PlayStation 5 and the PSVR headset, freeing up your TV, and especially useful if you wanted a big screen experience but were limited for space. So in summary, I'm blown away by the PSVR2. The immersion it gives takes gaming to another level, and for me, getting it for Gran Turismo 7 alone is worth the spend due to the level of immersion it gives. But price wise, it's not cheap, coming in at $550 or £530. But what I did like was that you weren't limited to just playing VR games. You can use it to play any games that aren't optimized for VR, or even watch movies, as you're presented with a massive screen which can be adjusted and actually felt like you're in front of a giant projector screen. The advantage of this is it will free up your TV, and you're able to use it in a small environment if your limit is for space, allowing you to have the big screen experience without actually owning a big screen, which I think is a major positive. On the negative side, personally, I did experience some motion sickness after a certain amount of time playing the adventure games, but strangely enough, I was fine in Gran Turismo 7. Now, would I recommend this? Well, if you're a massive Gran Turismo 7 fan like myself, then I'd say yes, as the 1.29 update is a massive game changer, making it worth it, even if it's just for this game game alone. So there you have it. You've come to the end of another video, and I hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing this. Details are in the description below, including purchasing links. And if you're still here, drop a PSVR2 in the comments, as it's nice to see who's made it to the end of my video. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook and Twitter. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to be notified of my next release. Thanks for viewing and see you in the next one.